Now, which I ain't get to see yet, unless you watch the whole interview. You know what I'm saying? Reggie does his roll call, right? Now, I could tell that Neckbone at some point was like, yo, all right already. This is enough questions, Reggie, right? Cause he like, yo, man, how many pieces y'all gonna break this up into? Like, what's up, my nigga? Like, we done here, right? And Reggie goes, oh yeah, well, just let me get a few more questions in. Let me just a few more, Neckbone, right? Um, so yo, we do this thing over on my channel called the roll call. I just want to name some names, and I just want you to talk about some of these people. Now that's another trick bag, right? He's getting Reggie. I mean, Reggie's getting Neckbone to talk about street niggas while he throws out their government name and he mentions their street name, and then he's trying to get Neckbone to elaborate and talk about these guys, right? So when he get back to his handlers, he could be like, yeah, that guy he was talking about there, that's so and so and so and so and so. And that guy here, that was so and so and so. And hoping that Neckbone talk about criminal stuff that these guys have done, right? But like I said, Neckbone's a little smarter than the average YouTube dummy that got up there in front of Vlad and just incriminated themselves or incriminated others, right? So he names a whole bunch of people in Compton, right? But let me tell y'all the most interesting part, right? Guess who Reggie did not name from Compton that's supposed to be affiliated with Death Row and this roll call? And y'all didn't get a chance to see this yet, but y'all will for y'all that get to see it in parts, right? Who y'all think Reggie didn't mention in his roll call out of all the names around Death Row and stuff? I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds. Let me see if anybody could get it. And if you saw it, you might already know who I'm talking about. Guess who Reggie did not ask Neckbone about? Let's see the names y'all know, the most uh popular names around Death Row. Trayvon, no, he asked him about Trayvon. And he was like, yo, I ain't talking about Trayvon. And nobody better not do nothing to him. He didn't talk about Trayvon. He asked him about Trayvon, but he didn't mention him. Sergeant Reynolds, no. He didn't ask him about no cops. No, he didn't ask him about David Mack or Perez, which is interesting. Never brought them up and asked him, man, was David Mack and Perez ever up at Death Row? He did not ask him about them. But those are good names, right? No, he didn't bring up the Bobby Finch thing. No, he did ask him about K-Dub. He had nothing bad to say about K-Dub. He did ask him about Marv James. You know, he talked good about Marv James, but he also said that Marv James, he left $1 million business to Marv James, and when he went to jail, and Marv James effed the company up in 2-3 months. He asked him about Buntry. Y'all ain't get it yet. He didn't ask him about Kevin Hackey. I got y'all on this one. This is a big one. I don't know how y'all didn't miss it. He didn't ask him about Kevin Gaines, which he should have been like, yo, man, all the people out here, they talking about Kevin Gaines and Mack and Perez worked at Death Row. Did you ever see them up there? He ain't do that. He asked him about Henron. He didn't ask him about none of the outlaws. There you go. We got it. Cornhill. Bing. You got it. You got it. Cornhill, you got it. Right there on the screen, y'all. Poochie. Now, Poochie was this fixture and everything. Why, Reggie, didn't you ask Neckbone about Poochie? You asked him about all these ball pot rules, all these pot rules, all these Crips, all these Bloods, but you failed to mention Poochie, Reggie. Why? We know why. We know why. Why didn't you ask Neckbone about Poochie, Reggie? Because you didn't want to bring up the fact that you snitched on Suge and said that he killed Biggie and he had Poochie do it. How does Neckbone sit up there and do an interview with Reggie when this nigga tried to send Suge to jail for murder for Biggie? And when he asked him about Suge, he like, yo, I ain't got nothing bad to say about Suge. Suge gave me opportunity. And then Reggie goes, yeah, me too. He gave me opportunity too. I know me and Suge, we go through our stuff or whatever. But yeah, he did give us opportunity. Reggie sound like a stone cold broad too, talking to Neckbone. He's scared to death of Neckbone. He was in line talking to Neckbone. But however, he did not bring up Poochie. And why is Neckbone sitting down doing an interview with Reggie if Suge is his man and Reggie snitched on Suge saying that he allegedly got Biggie killed and that Poochie did it and set him up with Teresa Swan and sent the girl Teresa or Tammy Hawkins into the jail Wyatt and tried to set Suge up. And Reggie is on Vlad TV telling Vlad Russell Poole got it right. Suge is the one that killed Biggie. And Neckbone supposed to be Suge's bro. And he's sitting up there with this rat bastard. Former cop. Former jailer. Correction officer. Drug convicted. Drug pushing. Money laundering. Dope selling cop. Working for the FBI. Working with Gray Caden. LAPD. And sat there and got there on Vlad TV, the same platform he's interviewing Neckbone on, and said that Suge killed Biggie and tried to set Suge up. And he's sitting there doing the interview with Reggie. That's how I know Neckbone don't know everything about Reggie or know what was going on. Because he would never be sitting up there with Reggie doing no goddamn interview, knowing that Reggie said, I would play it. But they would try to flag it, even though they flagged it before and got it taken down. I beat that. I fought it and I beat it, and I could have left it up because I used it in fair use. But to show them that I don't need to use their footage, let Neckbone go look up that interview himself. And if you know Neckbone, show it to him. Reggie said that Suge killed Biggie, and he used Poochie to do it. So you mean to tell me Reggie talks to Neckbone for at least 30 minutes, probably to an hour, doing the roll call, name everybody around Death Row, and failed to mention Poochie? Cornhill, ding, 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 ding. You got that. I'm gonna have to start giving out some prizes for y'all that with the. I got the most intelligent goddamn audience in the YouTube universe, boy. I'm telling you, man. Y'all be on point. Yes, Poochie. Reggie fails to ask Neckbone about Poochie. Was that a coincidence? Hell no. So, Reggie, you getting up there interviewing Neckbone, you think we supposed to trust Neckbone now? You think we supposed to trust Neckbone? Nigga, you got a narrative going, you pushing it, and you there to keep him in line to make sure he say what you need him to say because you got something on him.